quote, dead body on a tourist hotspot beach turns out to be a sex doll. This comes out of somewhere in Thailand. So Thai police were flabbergasted after responding to a report of a dead body on a beach, only to discover that it was something far less dire. The false alarm occurred Thursday, and I don't know what Thursday, after beachgoers spotted what they thought was a woman's corpse on Bang Sayan Beach in the Thai province of Chonburi, Jan Press reported. Alarmed, they called the police, who arrived to discover that the so-called stiff was actually a hyper-realistic sex doll. The sex accessory, allegedly a Japanese model known as the, quote, AV Idol, reportedly cost around $553. Now, I will say upon glance, it fucking looks real. Adam, have you seen the pictures from the New York Post?
No, I've only seen the AV3 model.
Just the pictures of the sex doll.
Yeah, I've only seen the lower end models of that particular sex doll. That's the only ones I'm familiar with. So I could look it up for you.
I was talking about the doll on the beach.
No.
Okay. All right. Without further ado, so here's what you have, and I mean, hey, I like you're just casually strolling along, although. They have blurred out the rear end, the Uranus portion of this with atmosphere, by the way. But I don't know. Look at this. This is obviously that's just a piece of trash. But it could have been, if you thought that was a sex doll, that could have been a dildo.
What do you need a dildo for if you got a female sex doll?
Well, no, because these people thought it was a person. The people called the police and said, "Holy shit, that's a human washed up on fucking shore."
I know, but still, why would then a human?
And then you're thinking that's a dildo next to them? Because you think it's a human?
Upon first glance, it looks like a piece of trash, but it is like 6 to 8 inches long, cylinder, circular, and black. So, I mean, it looks like trash, but if you think that's a sex doll, you might think there's some foul play going involved.
You just said if you think it's a human, then never mind.
Yeah, I know. Wes, your logic is fleeting, but it's fine. I just wonder though, like they blurred out the vagina of an inanimate object. You know what I mean? So I do find that, I don't know. Obviously it's a very realistic doll.
Sure.
If they felt they had to blur out the fake genitalia, you obviously can't tell the difference between the real thing and the fake thing.
This is, and Murr, you've heard this story. Adam, I may have told you this. Me, my brother, my cousin, my dad stumbled across a sex doll on Garrett Island when we were having a family, boating cookout excursion. Have I told you this story?
I don't think so.
Yeah. So Garrett Island, where it's the, where the Susquehanna River meets the Chesapeake Bay. We used to boat out there a lot, and they had a beach. They had a rope swing. We'd grill. The parents would drink. Kids would swim. Blah blah blah. And my dad grabs me, my brother, and my cousin, and says, "Hey, we're gonna take a little expedition." We go under Route 40, the Route 40 bridge that goes right over Garrett Island, and they cut all the trees down, so it's kind of a neat little like pathway to walk. And we came across a sex doll, and I was like, "Holy shit, what's that?" Now my point to that is that sex doll looked like a fucking, something you could float on in someone's pool in the backyard with a fucking two holes cut out in the plastic. This on this Thai beach looks like a fucking human. So, times have changed. Things have gotten more realistic, and for $530 fucking dollars, yeah, I guess this is what you get. You get what you pay for.
To me, that's pretty cheap. Like seeing what yeah. I mean, considering what that thing looked like, you're right. I mean, a body that somebody drowned, I don't expect them to look in the best condition. Mm-hmm. So considering that it's a drowned body, like, yeah, that looks... I have actually applaud the people who called the police to report a dead body.
Yeah, I know.
Otherwise, I look, sex dolls have come a long way. Just like you said, the Garrett Island sex doll. And by the way, do you think somebody was using that doll on the Garrett Island?
Listen, to think about, like, go ahead, Adam.
Just see, what's your theory on how it ended up there, Wes?
Some fucking drunk boater who's married went out there with a fucking $12 sex doll and had sex and threw the fucker to the wayside when he was done with it and got on his boat and went back home. Much like this person. This guy had sex with the thing on the beach and threw it in the ocean.
Yeah, that's my theory on this is nobody wants to get caught with a sex doll in their house. Mm-hmm. And so, because Adam, we actually had that. We asked you a while back, like, is it legal to resell a used sex doll? Yeah. And so I'm wondering, I mean, and you know, if this truly is like a Japanese sex doll, I'm pretty sure shame is much bigger in their culture. They probably got themselves a dinghy and went out on the water and tied a couple bricks to the feet and hooked it overboard so that the shame would not befall their family.
And said, "I love you," but not in English because there's a lot of different languages in the world.
Japanese is not going to be one of them. Right?
That's right. It will not. Absolutely will not.
But yeah, no. So long story short, Adam, I asked what it was. My cousin, who's around my brother's age, stepped in and told my dad, like, "Unc, I got this one," and explained to me what the what a sex doll was. And this kid, Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry, how old were you at the time?
Me? 9. I think they were 12-ish.
Yeah.
Wait, so he gave you the full rundown on what it was?
It certainly wasn't like, hey, a man fucking jams his dick into this fucking into this rubber.
Here, let me show you here.
Well, good enough for you guys. I have a boner right now. I'm going to show you how this is done. No, he just said, yeah, a man pleases that thing to get his jollies off. And I didn't quite get what the jollies off was, but I knew what he was talking about. I knew he was saying sex.
He could have just said, it's a funny floaty toy that somebody brought out here.
A mannequin or something.
Well.
Because I imagine actually the real story probably is some fucking drunken twat went out there and was just like, hey, you guys want a raft? Here you go. And then it just floated back up on shore. That's probably all it really was, as innocent as it could be.
Sure.
But instead, we're just imagining some sweaty, fucking bearded, fucking hairy man out having like rough sex with a fucking blow up toy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's not, I have no idea. Your story could be correct. My story of, the oyster shucker from the Eastern Shore boated all the way up and fucking had sweet passionate whoopee with this $12 thing and then just left it there and said, I love you. In English, by the way. And why did my cousin not take the high road and tell a 9-year-old me it was a blow up? I don't know. He probably thought that, like, this is a life lesson. When you're walking below an interstate highway on an island and you come across something like this is when the young man needs to step into manhood. I don't know. Who knows what that kid's like?
You know what? I agree with that. I don't like telling, just be honest with people. Even kids, right? Unless it's something terribly, terribly traumatic, but they gotta learn someday. Time to grow up.
Yeah, but it's not even like honest when you're just making shit up. Like he's just like
right. And the thing of it was, like, I would have remembered that story no matter who broke the news to me, but it just so happens that it was my bit of a black sheep cousin who cut off my dad. Like, oh, uncle, I'm going to go ahead and take this one for you.
I'm gonna go how old was your cousin at the time?
12.
How do you know what it was?
My dad let him have the carpet. He was like, oh, yeah, by all means, let's hear it.
Because knowing your dad, he was just really curious as to what was going to come out of this little asshole's mouth.
That's true.